Thank you very much, gentlemen. We are right into the game. It's Luminosity Gaming facing off against Monstars here on Train LG. Starting off on the CT side, I am Daverson, once again joined by Insomnia. And take a look, already they're making that push out. The Monsters are onto the B site.
Nice shot there by Shiz, taking out Kiko. It is answered back quickly by Mizo. That upper aggression giving them a lot of information, pulling this rotation from LG over quite quickly, and actually slowing down Monstars. Showtime going to put one down. That's Mizo. Dying there at upper. Rikoko going to swap out that USP dropped by Shiz. They're actually take this bomb right down to Popdog. In that process, though, Peak AL, he's going to take down Wardell, leaving Monstars 2v4 to try and get this bomb plant at the very least.
Yeah, bomb should be going down here. They're just going to play that post-plant position. Now, take a look, Yell pushing out from Ivy, able to pick up the kill onto Rikoko, and there we go, with Destiny getting that final kill onto N2G. That's going to be the pistol round going over for Luminosity. I just feel like Monstars just didn't commit quite that well over onto the B site, and you saw the bomb was hovering the entire time over up in Halls there, while they already had a man actually on the tracks.
Yeah, I think that they maybe their initial play, just the standard rush B, but I'd like to see them slow it down. I mean, they were keeping their options open with that bomb hesitating, but yeah, after trading that initial pick, I wanted to see them flood out on B. It just allowed the rotation to come so quickly from LG that there was no way they were really going to get that. But looks like they're right back at it, rushing on over there, starting to walk once they reach above Opdog, but I believe Destiny must have heard that a little bit. They're going to walk down, and 2G, Rose sees his teammate get sprayed down to the wall ever so slightly. Kiko down to 93 HP now.
Yeah, it's basically just a full save coming up from Monstars here. They do have some P250s, but that's really it. That's a couple on Rikoko and Mizo. Smoke comes out onto the ramp. That's going to slow them down for now. But still, LG playing this pretty default. Flash comes out. PKL, though, with the spray. With that bomb, that's a triple kill for him. Pulls out the pistol. Is he going to get the ace? Showtime will steal that from him.
Solid stuff with that FAMAS. That's a hard little weapon to actually get that burst spray down control, in my opinion. So nice to see him make advantage of that kind of lower economy weapon. In the meantime, Monstars, they're going to buy right into this. 4 AKs, 1 UMP, moderate utility, full armor as well.
Yeah, LG not quite upgrading their rifles. They're just going to try and stretch that economy, as we've seen so many teams do here. Already dropping down from Popdog. It's going to be Wardell going out first. Nope, he's going to get delayed by that smoke over at T-Con. We've got a Molotov coming out, and Destiny just pushing up from the top of the train there. Yeah, over by E-Box. Has to be careful.
He's going to Molotov off T-Con, slowing a terrorist down that might be pushing through that right now. Meanwhile, Showtime rotates back over towards B, but he's going to be pulled back over towards his A-bomb site soon as smokes, mollies come raining in. Some players are spotted out, but Kiko actually gets the first strike out of PKL, followed up by Rikoko. Good stuff there. A lot of damage being dealt. Kiko to finish it up before Showtime answers back with 2 big kills on Wardell and Mizo. Rico going to fall. Actually, Kiko gonna fall. That was to Shiz. This brings it to a 1v2. Rikoko quite lit up, but it's not gonna matter because Not Too Good is there to save his teammate. Monstars gonna bring this right back, right into the pistol or the rifle round.
All right, so we saw they really did commit on the side of Monstars to get on to this side. It was surprising that they went for that Ivy push coming out from LG when there was, you had the sense of mind that there was like a lot of presence over there by T-Con and by Popdog there. So take that push on in. Wardell jumps on down. Destiny almost takes him out, but he will be able to walk away with the frag and 6 HP.
That'll leave 2 players on this A-bomb site, where one actually creeps up through Ivy. Nobody to be spotted quite yet, as the players of Monstars are going to be lining up some smokes for a nice A execute. It's going to be difficult, though, as one player is holding up close by E-Box, but Yell anchored there on Ivy's side. I get to spot at 1 player crossing, but those smokes going to be thrown out. It's going to take the player off of B, heading on over to Z, but this is SHZ now, hiding behind E-Box, spots out the 1. Many more actually spotted, but managed to get 2 kills. EKL actually took one of those, as did Yell. Mizo going to get the only frag on SHZ. Actually followed up. Destiny actually fell earlier in the round, but Luminosity Gaming, after losing that initial rifle round, going to pull that one right back.
Now, 3-1 our score line. The economy getting reset on the side of Monstars here. They've been pretty cut and dry with how they're approaching this. Either we're going B or we're going to A. There's been no presence whatsoever by the Monstars over at Ivy here. Once again, they're going to be approaching from halls. 2 members hovering over by Pop Dog for now, as Showtime has put himself into upper, but has to back away, gets tagged a little bit. Wardell trading damage with him.
Nice little lurk coming through from SHZ, currently pushing up through T-spawn, so that could really pay off in the coming minutes. As Monstars are slowing this down, Bomb has started to peek upper, but that's going to slow them down even more. Molotov coming out from Luminosity Gaming, and they're actually going to redistribute their players, putting 2 more back over towards the A bomb side for the time being. SHZ flank finally does pay off, takes out not too good, does a lot more damage to follow it up, but he's down to 38 HP. But will he re-peek? He does, and actually gets rewarded for it before he's put down by Wardell. So player advantage in LG's hands. Time is really starting to tick down. They did go back, recover that bomb. Wardell's going to drop down or make some noise. Teases out.
Yeah, there was no one even there actually here, but they've got 45 seconds, and what a monster play coming out from Shiz there. He was able to spot out everyone. There was no one NT con, so he just pushed uppers, really, took his time there, clearing out the angles too, and getting that 2-for-1 trade. Not bad at all. I mean, that does put, the SMG in the hands of Kiko there, but he doesn't have any armor behind it. Like, he's going to take a lot of damage already. Mizo dropped down to 60 HP. That's going to be Destiny that cleans him up, and there we go. Easy cleanup for Luminosity. Doesn't even allow the bomb plant to go down.
Clean round there. Monstars back and forced by territory. Wardell has a bit more cash in his pocket, most of the players, but it looks like they're going to play this one smart, play it slow with the economy, just force up some pistols and armor for the time being.
Yeah, we do have 4 Deagles along with the P250 in the hands of N2G there, and once again they're approaching from halls. This time though, they're not going to go ahead to neglect Ivy, as N2G, Mizo dropping down from ladder, gets immediately cleaned up by Destiny, and now already man disadvantage in this eco round.
Kiko holding close. He's going to be pushed back by that Molotov, which once again slowed things down. N2G picks up the bomb and goes to join him over there by T-Con. Currently, A looking like it's pretty crowded with counter-terrorists, but they are redistributing some players as PKL goes to support Showtime over there on the B-bomb site. Right now, it's Yell trained here onto T-Con, where 2 players look like they want to go through, but one of them is going to double back for the time being.
Take a look at Wardell. He's pushed upper plats, and he's spotted out by PKL. Trades a little bit of damage, but it's going to be over by T-Con. Destiny cleaning up Kiko. And now 3 members rotating on over. LG Showtime coming on in. That's a double kill for him, and there we go. He's going to clean that up for the 5th round for LG.
Yeah, Showtime looking really strong in this B site, completely anchoring it down. Only needed support once or twice so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if Monstars start going for some more A hits as they reinvest in this round.
I feel like there's some missed opportunities coming out from Monstars with the way that they're just completely neglecting Ivy. They're putting a lot of focus onto T-Con and Halls here, but Wardell misses the shot onto the man in heaven. That's PKL taking him on out. Shiz even peaking with so little HP, pushing through that Molotov. It's going to be Rico going down, and now it's all down to N2G in a 5v1 situation.
I don't have high hopes for him, and there's a player pincering in on him right behind that box on the opposite side of the wall, holding so close. He does have the bomb in his hands. I'm surprised that LG hasn't thrown a single player over towards the bomb site yet, just to keep an eye on things, but they're going to find him right now, although N2G is going to come out well in that battle, taking up Showtime. First player dropping for LG, but through the wall. SHC is going to spam it on out, and he's going to get that. And might even, didn't quite grab the AK for the upgrade.
I feel like this is odd pacing coming up from Monstars, right? You get into the rifle round, and that's the one you try to rush out onto from T-Con without really setting up smokes. The other rounds in the pistol rounds is where they played it a lot more cautiously and tried to get picks first. But in the last one, they just basically threw away guns.
Yeah, for the most part. Not really doing a whole lot, just letting LG build that bank. For now, they're on upgraded pistols. Only Rikoko has armor at this point. They're playing this one a little bit more slow. Rikoko tried to get some information, pushing up top, but there is a second player there, helping out Showtime for the time. Minute 20 left in the round. Push on in towards T-Con, but guess, looked like Destiny was actually feeling about that one. So it's going to smoke off for now. Rikoko peeks on out, takes a couple pot shots on the PKL. Actually, rather, that was Showtime, excuse me. So Showtime's going to wrap back around behind Oil Train, reposition himself, as is PKL. One more player joining, actually swapping positions. That's going to be Yell coming on in over there towards Z with that AWP, expecting a nice B hit here. Spots it out, can't quite land the shot though.
N2G about to run into Destiny over by T-Con there. He's on top of that train. He's got that Deagle, or excuse me, the P250, but Destiny's just going to go ahead and back away with that situation that entire time as PKL cleaning up too. That's going to be a third, pulling out that pistol. No problem whatsoever. And there we go. N2G finally makes his way on out from T-Con to get cleaned up by Destiny. So now 7 rounds for Luminosity Gaming here on train. And there he is. That's the man that's been holding down the bomb site over there. It's PKL. And I can't believe production allowed that.
Look, Top Gun had some silly pictures for their player profiles, but you let PKL dab and you put it on screen. That was a decision you made. You should feel bad.
Yeah, 13-1 so far here on train. Only 8 rounds in. We're on to the 9th one now. Wardell finally gets his hands onto the AWP, but no one quite peeking him. They know exactly where he's shooting from. They don't need to give him those free angles. Once again, though, Monsters severely lacking any presence over there by Ivy, applying no pressure whatsoever. Instead, they've been continually pushing these upper halls.
Kiko making a bit of noise, trying to bait out some shots, but nobody's currently holding under Pop Dog. Wardell's going to be spotted coming out to Econ, takes a little bit of damage, and he's going to rush right back out of there. Showtime backing off. Hearing a couple players close by, he's going to call on some reinforcements of PKL. He's going to hold that M4 trained up towards upper, but N2G, it looks like he and crew might want to commit to this. They had some utility primed and ready, but the smoke is going to slow that down yet again.
Yeah, they're still playing this pretty one-dimensionally on the side of Monstars here on the T half. Either B or T-Con push. Oh.
A little bit of team damage coming out there. Maybe some misclicks. But
Good flash coming out, but somehow Showtime stays alive long enough to take out Kiko. Rikoko tries to trade him back, but it's going to be PKL going down, so it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade until Wardell comes in, taking out Yell. Now it's down to a 2v2, and now there's the opportunity for Monsters. They have to be careful. Destiny, though, making his way on up, spots out one. That's going to be Rikoko going down, and that might have been crucial that the knife came in on to him, because he did get that assist on the TK.
Monstars just not looking like they can hit shots today. This is the most damage they've done, like, combined over the past 3 or 4 rounds even. So, like, as you can see, 3 players almost at 16K going into this round. They've just had all the money in the world, all the time. And Monstars need to change something up. They've yet to take a timeout to even talk things over. They're just almost like forfeiting this map. Like this is LG's pick. We probably can't do a whole lot against it, but I don't know if they're trying to like, save their aim for the next map or anything, but it's just looking dire here for Monstars.
Yeah, Wardell has that op again, but he hasn't been able to really loosen up with it. Anything happened, but Rikoko will getting that first kill onto Showtime, who was holding a close angle at the bottom of the ramp. Oh, Yell legs N2G, but Shiz is there to clean it up.
Player comes to support PKL. Actually, I thought to get him out of there, but Yell actually ends up going on in, completely disregarding his own life there. He's going to hand away a free kill, giving Monstars player advantage for the first time in many rounds. Kiko going to be pushed off from that bomb plant a little bit early. It's going to allow PKL to get under Oil Train, holding very close next to Bomb Train. Spots it, the player lines it up, gets the headshot. There's a player above him though. Rikoko's going to take him out. Now it's up to SHZ, 1 versus 3. So just as I criticize Monstars, they start showing up.
It's going to be a 3v1 retake situation. I fully expect Shiz to actually go for this one. I mean, they have plenty of money in their economy. They can play with these rounds here. They don't have to play as passive. Go first kill going down on Rico, but Wardell will clean him up. And that's going to be the second round of this half for Monstars. Still down by 6.
So getting back into it, they have enough time and wiggle room to actually get enough rounds on this board to make the T side not a complete, utter devastation. But they're going to have to string together some momentum from here on out. They did put up all of their money, get as much as they can, so moderate utility, full buy indeed. Wardell is going to get flashed off, naded back, but he's going to regress regardless. Spots out one player. I do not believe he spotted that player next to E-Box. Meanwhile, Kiko getting a little roasted and toasted. And that Molotov that Showtime threw up ramp.
All right, over at IB, there's a little bit of a standoff going on. Looks like it's between Mizo and Shiz there. Neither quite going for the peak, but Shiz is now starting to make his advance. Smoked off. Will just back away for now. Doesn't want to repeat the mistakes from the last round there. But the rest of Monstars, they are once again in halls, ready to make their push onto the B site.
A lot of smokes coming out. Good use of utility from LG Gaming. You can throw some nades back there to deal a little bit more damage to the players of Monstars who are up there in halls. Slowing things down yet again. One player from the Monstars side pedaling back, trying to join his teammates over there towards B, but one's going to jump in. That's N2G. He's going to go down to PKL, so that player's position now spotted, but no one is following in after him. This is so difficult. Wardell peeks in completely alone. Finally, 2 more players follow. They are smoked off. They're getting pegged down through the smoke. Destiny gets a 2K right there, and suddenly Mizo, last one in, does get a kill. Small consolation with 30 seconds to work with. Picked up the bomb, trying desperately, doing a lot of damage. Can't quite finish it off, though. Destiny's going to end that with a 3K.
Great adjustment coming up from PKL there when he saw the smokes coming out on the side of Monstars onto the B side. He tucked himself in right underneath the ladder where people generally just jump down and then spam angles from there. And, you know, he really backed up Showtime to make sure that he didn't go down for free. So great job. Now Luminosity 9-2 in the lead here in the first half as they are sending 2 members over towards Ivy from the side of Monstars, which is just going to go ahead and smoke that off. He does have Yell there to back him up with that AWP.
Destiny currently standing inside Pop Dog. 2 players above him on the ladder, but SHZ over there in Ivy going to take out Mizo as they try and push forward. There is one more player there, but Destiny's going to find one as they try and bump through Pop Dog. Sneaks back, looks over there at Econ, gets a second frag. PKL finishes off the bomb carrier over there near Ivy. So now Rikoko left all alone. Deagle in hand, no armor to work with. Makes a bit of noise and is going to get caught with a knife in his hand. Showtime gets a nice free kill right there. And suddenly Monstars in a round they desperately needed. Let it get away from them.
Yeah, they could Tech 9 armor into this.
I'd just full buy right here.
Yeah.
I mean, the loss bonus is going to build up enough to just do the Tech 9 later. Just go for the full buy now and try and get it to string some rounds together because they desperately need anything at this point. 5 rounds is barely going to be enough on T side against LG.
All right, and it looks like, yeah, the desperation's coming on out. Wardell is going to pick up the scout this time. He hasn't been able to make much happen with that AWP, but there have been very few openings for Luminosity are made on the defensive end there. They're going to go ahead and line up some nades for, looks like an A push. A lot of members holding over at Pop Dog, but take a look. Destiny's already over here by T-Con. Peeks on out, takes out N2G, even covers his retreat. He's going to tuck himself in. They could not read that one. Destiny finds a second. There's a third. And just like that, Monstars is just getting shut down. He's going to get a 4th.
SAG steals the ace, but what a play there from Destiny. Pushing on in, getting the info, getting the kill, the repeat, pushing up the smoke to tuck himself away. Just such a smart play. Monstars weren't predicting that whatsoever. And here it is again. Just completely misread by Monstars. Even when the communication was passed on, they go in the corner. He's already just maneuvered ever so slightly away. Still, going into round 14, Monstars not calling a timeout. I'm thinking they're calling this one a wash.
Yeah, almost nothing to work with. They got some upgraded pistols. Wardell, there you go. Gets the first frag onto Destiny. Rikoko finds a second one, and now Yell is answering back. It's a 3v3. They push forward, but there it is. Shiz and Yell just shutting it down. 12-2 as we move into the final round. Wardell is going to pick up that AWP once again. We'll see if he does anything differently with it this time, but LG haven't been giving him any openings to find the frag.
Yeah, I mean, Rikoko, Wardell currently both sitting on 7 frags, tied for top frag on their team, going into just round 15. That's just not enough. These guys aren't hitting their shots. LG have been saving so much money that even if they started stringing rounds together, they've had so much luck. And Yell, he's just going to push on into upper with the AWP, smoke it off, molly on back to force them back over towards Pop Dog. And they tuck themselves by ramp. Nearly lines up that shot, but the grenade's going to come and deal even more damage to Monstars, so this is looking bleak.
Yeah, this offense has been so one-dimensional coming out from Monstars. It's a pretty good read for Yell to be able to just push upper like that and catch one of them on outs. We do have N2G just holding over bilateral, and Wardell just very cautious of this flank. They got caught out by it, I believe, by Shiz much earlier on, around like the 4th or 5th round. Now they're posturing again to go for this B push.
Still, just Yell and Showtime holding this down. Yell watching upper, Showtime watching ramp. Yell sees the first player, gets the frag. Spotted out the second two, I believe, as Showtime has eyes on it. Spots him out, but Yell adjusts the position, gets the frag. Now just 2v4 as Wardell does get that opening pick onto the bomb site, but Yell's going to put down N2G. So now Wardell, it's all on his shoulders. He has been top ranking for his team this round, but somehow that bullet just, man, I don't know how that missed.
He was
It's
so
moving
walking
ever so
there.
slightly, but it was so close. So good effort there in the last couple of rounds to put 2 on the board, but it's not near enough to make this map winnable in my opinion.
No, 13-2, that kind of scoreline, not the greatest whatsoever. Every single rifle round going almost completely the way of LG. It was those weird pistol buys that came out for Monstars that were able to catch them out, and that was really about it. It was pretty one-dimensional, like I had said earlier, coming out from Monstars.
Yeah.
And the way they approached this map on the CT side, or excuse me, on the T side, and Luminosity were just playing calm, cool, collected at each site.
And now Monstars, if they don't win the pistol here, game is pretty much over, although it's kind of feeling that way regardless. They are going to buy armor on 4 players, defuse kit and 1 smoke in the hands of Kiko. Meanwhile, Luminosity, actually, they're going to have a little riot boss here. Showtime getting thrown at Tech 9, armor to back it, armor on 2 other players, and PKL has an upgraded pistol as well. P250, 1 single smoke in their arsenal. Flashbang's going to come out, allow them free passage over Bast Olaf. Wardell sees it, readjusts over onto Bomb Train. He's going to call in the rotation now. Mizo spots out 2 players in Ivy. Wardell going to be the first to go down to SHZ. Showtime picks one up as well. Mizo, he falls 1 by 1. PKL, another. And now N2G versus 5. He's going to be ended. LG going to go up 14-2. Only need 2 more to finish this off.
I don't know what I'm more impressed by. LG's just like clean push onto that site, or just our cameraman catching every
That was beautiful camera, actually.
All right, so 14-2 is our scoreline. LG with that pistol round, looking to close out this map. And one of the differences we saw there in the pistol rounds is that they did have a presence over at Ivy. They had to force the man off the tracks there and force his positioning back, and then that made the defenders on the A site play a little bit more wary, a little bit more hesitant. But now they're holding a little bit close. Man over. It's going to be Wardell going down first. But it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but Mizo unfortunately caught reloading there. PKL cleaning him on up. Rico trying his best, not able to connect those shots. He's got the help of Kiko, but not for long. He goes down, so now it's all down to N2G. Bomb going on down, 1v4, and he just has to go for it, but Showtime will clean them up.
Yeah, this is about more what we expected from Immortals versus Top Gun, which we were completely surprised about. And I actually felt that LG would kind of have the more even battles going on.
But, I mean, Destiny's been shutting down everything that comes out from like T-Con and from Pop Dog there. If you
Crazy
saw
3Ks, 4Ks left and right, all across this map.
20-5. He's only died 5 times within the span of 17 rounds.
So Monstars' last chance here. Deagle's 5-7s. Immediately Wardell falls. Everyone else is getting completely lit up. Mizo soon follows, as does N2G, and this is pretty much over. 16-2. LG make a clean sweep, done and dusted. It's going to have a hard time for the analyst desk to figure out what exactly went wrong right here and how they could have improved.
Yeah, a much more difficult task than LG had to win this map, to say the least. So they're going to take the first map here. Remember, this is our second semifinal. The winner of this will be moving on to face off against Immortals just shortly later. We're going to go ahead and send it on over to the analyst desk to break down this map.
Well, all right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And it seems like this match is going a little bit more straightforward comparatively to our first one, where we thought the Immortals were going to sweep through their opponents. It wasn't the case, but here it's Luminosity that ended up sweeping through their first map quite quickly against the Monstars.
Yeah, very nice and easy. And I kind of expected it to be, if they were to have an easy map, it would be Train, considering recent form on Luminosity's side.
believe your mic may be muted, by the way.
There we go.
No, it's not.
There we go.
No,
we can
it's
hear
not.
him now.
It is definitely not. So there we have
Sorry,
it.
I was distracted by something else off camera anyway.
No, it's all good. No, but yeah, no. Going into this, we kind of expected this to be the one easy map. Like, if there were an easy map for Luminosity to get in terms of like, where you'd have the biggest difference between the sides, Train would probably be it, considering Luminosity's recent form.
Yeah, so they can move in, they take quick control of this one.
Yeah.
Eric, what was going wrong with the Monstars there?
I mean, I didn't think it'd be that easy, but like whatever they, whatever they did, they just got shut down by, Luminosity. One of the rounds where they tried to do like a smoke outside kind of strat, Destiny just pushed right in and killed 4 people when they're trying to line up their smokes. And one of the rounds where Wardell was not in middle, they got punished for it. And so just kind of, T-side can be pretty hard on Train, especially if you're not hitting your shots. And one of the rounds they did win, went really close on the second and third round.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, I think that the first buy round that they win, do the third round buy up. So there's going to be limited utility, utility / weaponry on the side of Luminosity because they do that early buy. So they have a bit of an advantage there. And even then, you had like every trade they got, even though they got beneficial, I think they got the 3 first frags pretty much of that round. Like every man on the side of Monster survived with like 15 HP or less. So it was extremely close even then. And they try to do basically replicate the same kind of push for the round after to the follow-up, which I thought was a bit of a mistake because at that point you've already hampered the economy of the CTs. They have to rebuy, they have to reinvest into nades and whatnot again. So I'd rather see them go for something slow in that kind of situation where they bait out as much utility as possible from the CT side, which is going to allow for your executes to be much stronger. Instead, they kind of just go straight out into yard, get manhandled, and from there on out, there pretty much wasn't any hope. Luminosity just did whatever they wanted. I think maybe one of the things that Monsters could have abused, obviously it's very tough to realize when you're playing, and much easier for us to see when we have the, obviously the overview at any given time, is that Showdown for the better part of the game obviously plays Inner by himself. So, that is something that you lean heavy on. Maybe, I think that it's easier for you to get a bomb plant more often than not if you go towards Inner pretty much every single round. So, in that sense, you might be able to, make that a sustainable way for you to have more AK buys. Maybe you don't have a ton of utility and whatnot, but I think that should be okay if you're doing, heavy focus on that Inner bomb side. And unless Luminosity decide to kind of adjust to that and then maybe put, the rotation in much earlier towards Inner to help out Showtime, etc., you might get a couple of more rounds.
So with that map closing out, of course, help me refresh my memory here. What were the predictions between you two?
I had 6-8 for Luminosity. We both had Luminosity. I had 6-8.
I had 16-10.
Yeah. I think we got taken aback by how well Top Gun were doing. So we were expecting
the hype jump a little bit for a closer matchup.
This was like the resurgence of the local teams that were gonna show up and do their best. Didn't quite pan out that way.
Well, Monsters played really well yesterday against Team Denial. Like even though it was against Team Denial, their teamwork, their spacing, they're hitting their shots, Rico and everybody was just on fire. And today they just came out super flat, especially on Train and. Not just aim-wise, but what they did on the T side, it just didn't work, and you're now way in the hole again coming this next map. But I thought Monstars would at least have a better fight than what they just put up right now.
Yeah, unfortunately they didn't bring it, so that's going to leave you, I believe, with 5 points currently because it is
really keeping score.
Yeah, we are. We're keeping score. This is how we determine who wins the the wheel here because it was 16-3.
The wheel. It's all about the wheel. That's all this is about. Is the wheel.
We're only here to please the wheel. That's our only goal here. Yeah, map at 16-3, I believe, right? So that should be.
Actually, yeah, I get more points.
So like 5 points for you.
7.
7 for you. Keep in mind, this is golf rules, so lower points win because you want to be closer to the actual
close to
score
0.
line. So now we need predictions for the next map, gentlemen.
It's going to be Mirage. Again, this is Monster's pick, but I'm not really sure, necessarily sure that that's going to obviously make it a lot easier to give them a ton of rounds. But yeah, no, I would assume that they have something planned, and it is a more puggable map than Train. I also think Train is a stronger map for Luminosity than Mirage is. But again, we have to consider the fact that this is, unlike Immortals, this is a map that Luminosity do play. So with that in mind, I'm going to give Monstars maybe 7 rounds, and that's about it. But Luminosity is still going to take the win.
All right, how about you?
I said Monstars is going to win a map. but after that performance,
that was too weak. Yeah.
It kind of put a little doubt in my head. So I guess I'm going to flip right back to Luminosity. Going to take this 2-0 on Moragi. Let's say, gosh, I want it to be a good match. I want it, like deep down, I want it to be a good match, Blue.
Go 16-14. I believe you do. Yeah, I believe you do. Yeah.
I was thinking 16-14, but I was like, you know, if they do another 16-5, I'm just already gone on that one. So let's do Luminosity. Let's do 16-9. Please have a good match, Monsters. Please.
All right, so 16-9, 16-7 for you, I believe. And that is going to be the next map, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be over on Mirage, so do stick with us. That's coming up in just a few minutes. We're going to have that one once again. It's the Monstars and LG facing off in the semifinals here of the Santa Ana Showdown second map, coming up in just a few minutes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Esports Arena Santa Ana Showdown Championship Series. Once again, Jamerson joined by Insomnia here, and it's going to be map number 2, LG facing off against Monstars on Mirage.
I think Mirage is better suited to Monstars. It is their pick. I just don't think that they can stand up to the likeness of LG on it, especially coming in so limp and trained like that.
Yeah, it's going to be LG starting off on the CT side. And there's going to have to do something differently here by Monstars. Luckily for them, you know, this is a map that you're more familiar with, much more, I guess, forgiving for the pug style, right?
Yeah.
And we're already seeing, it looks like they are posturing to go for this A take 3 in Palace, ready to flood out as soon as the nades do come out. Here are the smokes, here are the flashes. Destiny with that USP. Played by Ticket Booth has to back off just a little bit. But it's going to be Destiny finding a double kill before he gets traded away. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade. N2G though coming on in. Now it's all down to Shiz. He's pushing in through jungle. The bomb is about to go down shortly.
Spotted out one, gets a nice little 2-tap onto N2G. It's going to make this slightly more doable. USP. Currently advantageous, but has to spot them out. Has a little bit of a late reaction to that. Normally I'd say he's like 4x3 with like black bars, but that was way in the scope of his vision. That was quite interesting right there.
That was a really slow flick coming out from Shiz, and uncharacteristically, especially of the performance that he had on Train, but it's still just the pistol round.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to recover. They did recover on Train also, but now Mizu.
Oh, Yell. Beautiful stuff. We've seen him do that in the past. I love his deagle. When he can't afford AWP, it's just practically a miniature version for him. So he's going to open up that round. Sadly for LG, it's only going to be one of the MAC 10s that was dropped. And N2G going to be piling on over towards Catwalker. SHZ, he's got his deagle in hand. He's going to have to reload though. Only had 4 bullets in the clip. Can't quite get it loaded in time, but Showtime can. He's there, spots out one player. Here's the other who just dropped down. And then he has Yell to back him up. Destiny as well. Showtime gets that kill into Kiko, and suddenly Monstars falling apart. Rico goes down. N2G so low health, has an AK to fight back with, gets 2 kills, but Destiny somehow manage it. So low HP, 1 and 8 respectively, the 2 remaining players of LG. And that's got to be such a blow mentally for Monstars.
Yeah,
you finally get the pistol round, and you start looking good and making it like clean, and then that happens immediately. So, yeah, technical pause on the side of LG. They did have a player drop out.
Yeah, that can't happen, honestly, with all the investment that LG put into that with the Deagles.
Yeah, they fully invested, like, as much utility as they could on the side of Monstars. Like,
that one
3 AKs. I don't even question things anymore. So there's shots I'm like, that should have hit, and every shot that shouldn't have hit, I'm like, that hit. I'm like, I'll just accept things as they go.
Now, Monstars in a really difficult position here, losing that anti-eco round up against LG, and so the AK along with the Galil recovered by LG. That's going to be a huge boon to their economy. We do see the FAMAS coming out. It's going to be on PKL, and along with the M4 and the UMP in the hands of Shiz there they are. That is the Luminosity squad looking to meet their sister team Immortals in the grand finals.
So far, we've got 3 players packed up in the Palace, 2 throwing smokes and flashes out at this moment. They're going to be rushing up onto ramp, and actually Palace players not making a noise until just the last second. Immediately going to be smoked off. Molotov comes through from LG. PKL gets the first frag. Yale follows up. 1 for Destiny. Make that a 2 for Mizo. Does get a consolation kill, but he's being pinned in right now. 3 players rushing in, and you know he's going to go down. Luminosity Gaming having a pretty clean round right there. They're going to upgrade some pistols on the back of it.
Yep, 2 rounds in a row for LG now, and without being able to get those plants down, Monster are still in an awkward position. We do have the Deagle coming out along with some armor onto the hands of Rico there.
PKL pushing on in. Out through window, actually. He's going to get aggressive, and this is the kind of Brazilian play I like to see. He's going to tuck himself under pass. Meanwhile, Showtime gets aggressive, and he's punished for it. Rico with a nice little 1 dig of his own. Picks up a Galil, and has some armor to go on the back of it. SHZ, he's up close. Destiny, meanwhile, getting 2 frags. PKL, 2 frags elsewhere, and suddenly N2G just falling apart, and they just have a lurker on site, and he's been spotted out. Destiny, 3rd frag for him that round. LG making it a perfect showing.
Yep. PKL making that underpass play really did punish them, despite this great Deagle play coming out. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough for Rico and Monstars, but we're going into a rifle round now. Finally, AK's down the line with a decent amount of utility for Monstars. It looks like they're going to be pushing forward for A. 3 members currently holding in Palace, and there's only the 1 person. It's going to be down to Yell with that AWP to hold it down.
And he does. N2G tucked along the side. 1 more peeks out. Yell gets him. This is just like textbook LG. This is like how they wrote out the script, but that's going off script. N2G does get a frag onto Yell. Showtime is there to regress, waiting for teammates to rotate, and there is a flank coming up from Destiny, but it's ways off. Showtime doesn't want to wait for that. He comes out and actually gets caught with a grenade. His hands of Wardell gets that frag back into even player numbers, but soon that flank from Palace is going to pay off. Luminosity Gaming just has to wait, rotating 1 more player around CT to go battle Wardell as the other comes up through connector. There's the flank player we were talking about. That's Destiny, who's been the key player in the previous map.
Forced out a firebox. Kiko going on down, but they're not going to have the time, though. They do have a kit.
They got this. They had kits on everybody, which I do like to see. It happens like less often than you'd think, especially in like top-tier teams, but no. LG, they got this.
Yeah, 4 rounds now. The AWP going to go back into the hands of Yell. No? Yeah, he is. Just going to buy for Showtime there. And he really did hold it down over there on the ace side as the lone man. Slowed them down long enough for the rotations. Now he's going to go ahead and take control of mid. And we haven't seen Monstars approach mid since the first 2-3 rounds here.
Going up against the likes of Yell, it's quite intimidating, kind of like Henny is on the side of Immortals. But right now, Destiny spotted out at least 1 player. That Molotov's going to slow them down. Nade's going to come in, deal a hefty amount of damage over towards Wardell. But Kiko's already in. 1 more player peeking up on Palace. So PKL all alone here as the rotation actually pulled off of the A pressure. PKL does get the first, but he's quite weakened. Flash comes out, lets him peek, gets some more info. Secondary flash, and Mizo shoots him through the box.
4v3 situation now. Bomb hasn't made its way onto the A site yet. They're rotating Rico back on through Palace now. As they go for this take, the smokes are coming on out. Wardell, it's going to be Mizo that actually gets the kill onto Shiz. Spots out Showtime by stairs, takes him out. Now it's all down to Yell. 4v1 situation with his AWP stuck in CT, gets tagged down. N2G is going to clean that up. Monstars picking up a 2nd round.
Good effort right there. The team of Monstars finally starting to play off of each other, maybe communicating a little bit more. It's hard to say exactly what they did right there, other than just kind of playing off of each other and making sure that everyone had their backs covered, utilizing some more utility in that round as well. So starting to change things up, getting a good footing on this side of Mirage.
Here now they are looking to challenge Yell over by mid. They're going to smoke that cross. 1 member over behind the boxes already, but Showtime pushes his way through catwalk. He's still smoked off right now, currently in ladder room.
Mizo with the flash that allowed him to cross back over as Kiko gets lined up from that ladder room player, and that was Showtime. Didn't get tagged up at all. He's just going to back on up, find a more passive angle to play on, and keep an eye on apartments for now. As the bomb is rotating over towards mid, player in T-side apps going over there to meet him. But we do have Rico coming up from underpass, and one player has actually made it to connector and has just been lurking there for the time being. So this could really cut off some rotations if they can get out onto this bomb site.
Yeah, Shiz has made his way into the apartments here. They've got to be careful. He set up a great angle. Gonna go ahead and back away, though. They're not quite comfortable with that yet. 50 seconds left on the clock. Monsters still with 3 hovering over by apartments, and now they're rotating in N2G. They do have Kiko holding underneath the window, or actually over by connector now to get any of the rotations.
SHC, first man on site, puts himself behind bench, gets the opening frag. Rico does answer that back, trades it out. Showtime, he just got here. Here's 2 players, gets the first, peeks on out, but Wardell gonna land up a very solid shot right there. Now Kiko retreating from underpass. Yell up close with that AWP. He uses it like a shotgun on Wardell and knows there's at least one more on site. Noise has been made in apartments from the secondary player, but rotation comes in from LLG. Destiny coming here to join him to make this retake possible. Destiny gets that frag out. Yell does have the kit, gets the kill as well. And Monstars going to fall, giving LG a 5th round.
Yeah, just the bomb plant positioning not the greatest for him that he had to peek out from apartments there. If they had planted for apartments, it could have been a completely different story. But no, he had to get aggressive on that. So, Luminosity able to get the 5th round on the board. Monstars with that plant, though, they're going to be able to buy into this round.
Yeah, their economy, not too horrible, but I mean, not the best. They had not fully invested in the previous round, so even losing that and getting the bomb plant was just enough to get 4 AKs. Kiko relegated to a Tech 9. Would like to see a bit more utility, or definitely an AWP in the hands of Wardell again, but just not quite there yet. So they'll have to make do with what they have as they move over towards this A-bomb site. 2 players tucked onto ramp right now. Rikoko currently scouting out Palace. There are 3 players holding on the A-bomb site for LG, so it's going to be difficult to go into this.
Yeah, one playing over by Ninja. You got the man over by Connector, and another in jungle as the smokes do come out. PKL is going to go ahead and adjust his position just a little bit, avoiding a lot of those flashes, but they got slowed down by the Molotov over at Palace. It doesn't matter, though. Kiko starting it off with the entry frag onto Yell. One jumps on over to stairs. He's brought down low, but great peek coming out from Rico to finish off PKL. It's still a 2-2 trade. They're hunting for more and biting off a bit more than they can chew, and now it's all down to N2G, but Shiz playing over by Ticket Booth will be able to clean him up.
Monstars kind of playing off each other a little bit right there, trying to give each other support, but really just a little bit too slow. Didn't have enough utility, as I said earlier on, to block off some of those angles, allowing LG to position themselves in ways that really couldn't let each other support them past the initial take. So, plus just Destiny's been going completely off. Like, hasn't had quite as flashy of kills as that previous map, but still doing so much work.
So now into the 9th round. 6-2 is our score line as Monstars are just relegated to pistols here. We do have a Deagle in the hands of Rico along with Mizo, and the P250 for N2G.
Smokes being lined up for this B execute as 4 of these players push on in and meet a grenade right into apartments. S8Z doing quite a lot of damage, and spots out at least 2 players. Going to throw down a Molotov to isolate this angle, and that player takes heavy damage, does Wardell, as he goes to plant the bomb and gets stopped. S8Z quite confident in his ability as he takes in 1 more player following that, and a 3rd to finish it off for a clean round from LG. Monstars are just not showing up today, and it's really disappointing after seeing how well they played last night. It's like 3-4 of those players just going off in multiple rounds. But here is Destiny, MVP in my opinion of last map, but definitely doing work so far. Top fragging here on Mirage.
Yeah, 10-3. Kills to death right now. Niel, hyper aggressive, pushes out. Saw one man through the break in the smoke. Was not able to connect with that shot. He's got to be careful though. There are 3 up there, and there we go. Through the smoke. Gets the kill onto N2G.
Tries to spray through that smoke. Can't quite connect with anybody. They do know quite a few players are over there in that mid spot, but Rikoko is backing out through underpass right now. PKL going for a flank. He actually is going to catch off this bomb carry. He hears it. He'll spot the bomb momentarily. But here's Kiko double back, free kill. Didn't actually spot out the bomb that was just below the wall. So, while they don't have that information, they do have man advantage. They do know where at least 2 or 3 of these players now that everyone's shooting blankly. So, it's all going to be up to Monstars to just hit a couple of miracle shots if they want to keep themselves in this round, because They are pinned on in. Mizo, he's going to do so. He's going to hit that one shot. Showtime takes him down, though. And Wardell. And now he's just going to go chase on that last player that I assume they know where he is. No, they're looking a little hesitant. Rico, I guess, did have time to move from that position.
Yeah, but Showtime just going to go ahead and stay over there by connector. Already worked out for him. He's picked up 2 frags himself, but he will finally go on down. It's going to be a 3v1 situation that Rico cannot clutch. They were deciding, do we want a second op or not? They're just going to stick on to 1. It's still in the hands of Yell.
Interesting, because we know PKL can op quite well as well. Yell, I believe, is the main opper, and he's been doing work so far. But I'd like to see a double AW setup. Like LG, you've got the round bonus. You have like 1 map on your series. Why not get confident? Why not get cocky? Let's see some Negev buys.
Eco round coming out for Monstars here. We do have the Tech 9 in the hands of N2G, but it's going to be Mizo with that Deagle that gets that first frag. But
Oh
Destiny spray down onto 3. They just line up for it. There's the 4th. Last man in Palace. It's all down to Rico. He's got Tech 9 armor along with the smoke, but still not the tools you want when you're in a 4v1 situation. Bomb almost in an irrecoverable position too.
Yeah, Destiny sitting right on top of it, so he's actually primed and positioned to pick up this ace. Foreboding that Rico Go doesn't get that typical Tech 9 one-shot. Here it is, Destiny holding the angle, spots at the shoulder, and there's an ace. Destiny looking like the MVP of LG today.
It's really odd how Monsters are approaching this when they went for that mid to A play. It was weird that they didn't expect Showtime to be in that angle in that last round. And everything that they do, they're just getting punched so hard. Now it looks like it's going to be another 5-man push out onto the A site. They're lining up their smokes right now.
Typical wall of smoke setups, and it's actually going to bring the rotation over from Monstars. Or sorry, LG. It's one of them is going to position themselves into sandwich, and Yell taking up that angle from jungle that may have been, it was indeed smoked off, and actually good use of the Molotov. They do flush out Destiny. They are going to, oh, somehow he gets a kill on the exit, so that's going to get traded out by the Molly. PKL, though, holding a different angle here behind Firebox. That Molotov is not going to touch him. That's going to go clear out under. Kiko, though, he's already in. He's going to go meet 2 players face to face. Showtime's going to end that thought. Shez follows it up. Yell. Everybody gets 1, except for PKL has been left out of that. So, pretty clean round there by LG. Going to the 13th round. Monstars have enough for a 4 spy.
This is looking a lot like Trains.
It's exactly the same as Train.
Yeah. Only 2 rounds on the board for Monsters at this point. They haven't been able to find their footing at all whatsoever here on the offense. And now they're piecing together this buy. They've got 4 AKs. Wardell is on that Tech 9. No armor behind it. Smokes off in mid, but Monsters are going to get mollied. And now Yell is going to be forced out of position. Doesn't take any damage from it, though.
Yeah, Wardell on the Tech 9 jumping into connector. Probably saving for an AWP next round because he desperately needs something. Kiko's going to find one, though. Showtime immediately trading out, though. So as soon as they get any bit of map control, immediately brought right back by LG. They're going to rotate up, and Destiny actually gets a little cocky there. Does find the player stack, going to end that boost thought. Get traded up by Wardell, who has salvaged the AWP of Yell. So not purchasing up in this round has actually paid off for him. But PKL going to take AK out of Mizo's hands. And Wardell's going to push on through. No scope. Beautiful stuff right there. Showtime and Shiz, last 2 players alive versus this glass cannon of Wardell. Currently does not have the bomb at hand.
I don't know if the man on Cat has spotted out the bomb yet, but wrapping around is going to be Showtime, playing the Cat position now. You got 1 in ladder room. Wardell making his way in. I don't know if he's going to expect this. He's making a lot of noise, and they have to hear him.
They're pinning him down right now. 1 up top. Showtime going to get the kill. Salvage the AWP. Get that back in the hands of Yell next round. The Monstars, with that half buy, they're going to get an op back in the hands of Wardell. And they could force up some AKs and light utility. Be interested to see what they decide to do.
Yeah, double AWP like you had wished for coming out. It's going to be PKL and Yell, of course. PKL playing over by Tickabooth. Now, Monstars changing this up a little bit more. Wardell wins that duel over at A ramp. Immediately retreats, but Showtime answers right on back. They were not expecting that counter aggression.
Yeah, Showtime hasn't been playing over there. No one's gone up underpass so far, so it really did pay off. SHZ takes out N2G as he enters on through apartments. Kiko, nice little aim duel there to answer that one right back, bring this back into even player numbers. Yell, though, walking his op all the way over towards B. Spots out one player, can't quite line it up. Nearly had a collateral there, but Kiko going to put him down. But here is Showtime. He's been doing some work here as well. Destiny, second player alive. Ooh, rotates over through window and gets put down. Mizo, nice shot right there. So now 1v3 by the top fragger of this map. Smoke's going to come out, pop flash out window, and goes for a strange little rotation out through door. He's going to try and isolate these in the 1v1 duels. He knows where one is, gets the initial one. Now it's all guesswork. He has the kit, but no! Kiko, he's going to get the frag. Monstars go up one more round to try and scavenge anything. 4 rounds on T side would be pitiful, but it would be something more.
Despite that round win, though, there were still questionable decisions coming up from Monstars towards the end there. They knew where he was. You saw the smoke come out at Market. For some reason, Wardell made his way on over to Archway and towards Catwalk. He already had the AWP, already recovered, a really good gun there. It's just, why? You know where he is. Don't take that chance. You can't make any mistakes here, especially when you're down 11-3 against Luminosity.
SHZ, 3 players coming in quite soon. They're just waiting to commit to it. Has this perfectly lined up, but he's actually going to fall off the barrel. Jumps back up. This is so tense. Monstars not yet dedicated themselves to it. 3 of those players actually kind of shuffling around, but nope. First one in is Mizo. He's going to be put down. Smoke's going to come out. Nade to follow through. Does a little bit of damage there over towards Rikoko. Molotov from one of his teammates. He's going to back off, readjust, back behind bench. And Monstars, they're going to give up on that beat bomb site, take that bomb back, and tuck themselves in underpass where Destiny is a Molotov waiting for them.
This is really weird. Shiz got the initial pick. They got smoked off. They tried to push through it, and then they kind of half-assed that. But there we go. Wardell got the kill onto Shiz, but immediately traded on back, and now it's down to a 2v4.
Kiko and N2G, those 2 members of Monstars, separated slightly. 30 seconds to work with. Kiko just kind of lurking in this apartment, while N2G tries to rotate through Cat. But Showtime, he's ready. Destiny, he's on the flank. I don't believe Monstars are long to live here. There's the first one. Kiko, he's going to go down as well. LG win the first half of CT side 12-3.
They got one more round on their half than they did on Train here, but still, things not boding well for the Monstars currently. That is Kiko. He's at 9-13, which is completely different from his play yesterday. He was contributing a lot.
Yeah, he was one of the top 3 players on the team yesterday. Had some amazing shutout moments. I think Rikoko is really my MVP yesterday. Wardell a little bit behind him, but just these guys not showing up today, looking a little sluggish and tired.
And so they're going to have their try at the CT side. I don't believe we really got to see Luminosity here on Mirage, correct? It was it Cobble that they played?
That sounds right.
No. It was Overpass and...
Overpass and Train.
And Train. And so now, just 4 rounds away to move on to the Grand Finals and meet up. And Wardell, though...
Good start. Re-aggresses, actually. Repeaks gets it anyways. Holy crap. Destiny's going to go down, as did Showtime. Rest of these Luminosity Gaming players, though, over there towards the app side. Only one of them really aggressing, and that's going to be Yao. Could isolate this down into 1v1s. There are 2 players there, but he waits for Rikoko. He kind of feeds the information to Monstars and baits out that shot. Spots another one and tries to get it, but he's tucked back into this corner. SHZ is here to support him. So is PKL. Flashbangs are going to come out. AL does manage to back up, so he can play more of a lurk role while these other 2 players at full health do some work.
Still, we have the rotations already coming on out. It's just down to N2G to make his way on over. Wardell with the 3K now, taking out Shiz, trying to find the 4th. Goes for the jumping shot, misses. And as he goes for the next one, Yell will take off his head. But still, PKL in a 3v1 situation. Not looking good, especially with 15 HP.
Completely pinned in. He's got 45 seconds to work with, but only so little health. At this point, all he can really hope for is a couple more kills, try and do some damage, but N2G is going to end that. So Monstars, 1 more round on the board. Something tells me, though, LG will force buy right back into this with such a lead. And I believe they actually, didn't they pull back the anti-eco round?
They got the anti-eco initially, yeah, after that pistol round on the first half. At this point, though, Monstars, they've got 2 UMPs. They were able to get the M4, and Wardell going straight for that scout.
So, these players of LG, 3 of them going to be piling on through Palace right now, where Rico is holding with that MP7. Holding close. Are they going to check it? He does get flashed, but they don't check it. Oh my god. Such an amateur mistake right there from LG, and it does not pay off for them. But PKL and Yell trying to bring them back into this. Can't quite do it. Going to get 2 kills. Monstars going to string 2 rounds together for the first time, I think, this entire series.
Yes. Yes, each round was very spread out on train.
Yeah.
Now, LG, they're just going to go ahead and pick up 2 P250s. It's going to be the hands of Yell and PKL. They're going to go ahead and send 2-man up to the top of mid, the rest making their way through underpass now. They tried to go for this running boost, or excuse me, yeah, the run boost, but there we go. Makes it on over. Wardell misses the shot. He gets tagged. He's brought down to 13 HP. Now PKL trying to get the jump shot onto him. Wardell just stuck here in the window.
Gonna try and smoke himself off so he can get out of there, but 13 HP, just some light spam through that smoke as he passes could really end him. Rikoko here to try and help do some damage. He got the jump up in there. Did he knife his teammate on the way?
No, he thought Wardell might be in the smoke, so he just tried to spam through that. Did not catch him out, actually just played against him because Wardell could hear him. Another boost coming on now, but Wardell, he is going to have the backup of Rikoko to be able to finish off PKL.
SHZ still here. Spotted the barrel, maybe not the head though. Heard Rikoko drop. The other 2 players of LG currently in apartments, so this might not be expected with such a heavy mid presence. They wouldn't expect such a quick rotate. Wardell somehow is still alive on 1 HP, just can't find 1 bullet. Mizo, he's going to get a quick 2K, and Kiko's finally going to finish off SHZ. So quite a tense round, and a lot of shots fired for no kills coming off the side of Monstars, but it was just practically a full eco.
A lot of attention paid towards Wardell there. They got a little bit thirsty for that kill and definitely got punished. Destiny, a little bit of hubris with that knife, trying to hunt him down through that smoke. I mean, I guess with the way the knife works, you're more likely to hit the slash than you are of errant bullet, but still. That was a little bit overreaching. Wardell now, he's got an AWP, but he's got to be careful. There's a man pushing forward from underpass. That's going to be PKL. He's going to back away. He doesn't like the looks of things, and he's just going to go ahead and cover that angle.
Solid lineup by Wardell, but the problem is that nobody has eyes on upper mid. There is a player in window, but they have a very small gap. So Wardell going to have to readjust, keep an eye on the other side of that. While Yell going to line up with smoke for Catwalk, I believe. Rikoko over here. Top ladder room. It's going to leave Wardell looking over there towards Palace. So Monstars, no information garnered yet as LG starts to move up over towards mid.
Oh, Destiny pushing up on Catwalk, gets N2G over at Connector, and already 2 kills going over in favor of LG. It is traded 2 for 1 though, as Destiny does finally get punished, but still with 45 seconds left on the clock, they can take this bomb anywhere that they please, and it looks like it's going to be the A site.
40 seconds left to get there. Only 1 player of Monstars currently holding that down. We do have PKL lurking, which will help the rotation be thwarted by LG as they slowly come out, check all their corners and angles, make sure no one's hiding for that 1 slip up they had 3 rounds ago. But Kiko, he's sole player here on stairs, seems to know what's up at this point. Calling for the rotation, gets flashed off, stuck behind stairs. Yell gets caught with his back to him, and SHZ looking a little confused as well. So now 12 seconds, bomb is down, and he's going to get pinned in here, Kiko. But 2 players from CT about to put some bullets over there on Showtime. 3 seconds. They just need to survive at this point. Just stay alive, Monstars. So close. Oh my god. Rikoko barely tucks himself back by trash can. Those guys, I'm not quite sure if they realized what the timing was right there, but that almost was disastrous for them.
I mean, Kiko getting those 2 kills was crucial over here by stairs. We're going to see it again. Surprising. I mean, there were still a lot of angles that they didn't have smoked or mollied off, so it was very difficult to figure out where the shots were coming from. And the man that was coming in for Connector just wasn't able to get any eyes on him. So great play coming out from him. Honestly, though, I don't know why the second person from Monstars, the second remaining person from Monstars, went for that peek. It was just a few seconds left. They didn't hear the bomb plant noise. I mean, that's when you go for the peek. But Wardell, the nice one over by Connector, gets that frag onto Destiny. He's going to try and smoke his way on in, give himself a little bit of cover. There's one more person stuck over at the top of mid.
Luminosity Gaming currently 4v5, nearly goes down to 3 as Yell gets legged down to 16 HP. Wardell definitely waking up in the past couple of rounds. The AWP on CT side definitely shining more than the terrorist side. So Bomb going to be picked up by SHZ. He and Yell are going to go join Showtime up there by Apartments, where he's about to peek out. Flashbang comes out. Another one running on in. Jump peek not paying off from Mizo, and he's actually going to abandon that position. Go back behind bench. Meanwhile, PKL, he's made his way with this AWP all the way towards Connector and goes for the re-peek. Thought it was safe. Wardell ends him right there. Wardell's like a one-man army at this point in the past couple rounds. Really just completely carrying his team, trying to get them going strong, trying to jumpstart the engine of this Monstars team. Mizo, there you go. He lines one up, gets the second one. Actually, Kiko took that from him. So Yell answers back, but Kiko pulls up a 2K that round.
12-8 now. Monstars really running this back. It's a completely different story here on their CT side, taking that pistol round win and carrying it and stretching it for another 4. Tech-9 armors coming out for Luminosity. We've got the Deagle in the hand of Yell, though.
We have seen him do some amazing things with Deagles. So if he can just bind the angle, get the timing right. For now, though, LG is going to line up the basic wall of smokes. And actually, only 2 of those. The rest of the grenades are flashes, so they're going to be piling on in. All 5 through ramp room momentarily. One player holding back to throw an extra flash. That'll send Kiko back. And Uji, he's going to go down first to Showtime. That's going to allow a free bomb plant. Rikoko, though, he's going to flash out. He's stuck in the smoke with somebody. He's going to go down to Yell's Deagle. Not quite a 1 dig, but it's going to work. An LG. Post-plant, 5 players alive. Picked up 2 M4s. 1 will be dropped to Kiko. And who runs on in actually gets 2 more kills. So Kiko, he's starting to look lively as well. Time has been ticking down. They do have kits. Yell, nice post-plant position here on ramp. And PKL wrapped all the way around through Palace. Very interesting. And it is planted in opportune positions for both of those. But Wardell, he's going to take away one of those opportunities. Mizo, he does as well. Kiko with the 3K. Very nice stuff from there. Monstars looking lively.
Yeah, much closer round than they really wanted, though, here on this anti-eco. It was just Kiko coming up with some great heroic plays, quick 3K just to even up and then give them the man advantage for that retake. But, you know, Rikoko, he tried to go for that flash play. Unfortunately, missed the man through that smoke and then got taken out. Put them in a very dire situation. But now LG are back on the rifles. They got 4 AKs. Wardell getting immediately mollied off. Great adjustment coming out from LG, forcing him out of there. But I believe you heard that fire noise. No! He gets way too aggressive. Destiny punches him now. Things are turning south for Monstars.
And 2G going to get a post damage molly kill right there. But really, this looks like LG, we're just kind of saving up for these rifles. Did as much damage as they could with the pistols and such. But so far, looking to end this strong. Back on the rifle buy, and it's paid off. It's a bit too late for these 2 remaining players of Monstars to go back and try and arrest this. They're just looking for some exit frags, and actually Mizo's just getting out of there right now. Rikoko, he's in kind of a decent position, but nobody's going to be headed his way anytime soon.
Over by Market, about to run into Destiny is Mizo. Looks away at the wrong time. Destiny coming in for the peek, and there it is. He hunts down that man. Now Rikoko, just the last remaining member here, is able to salvage the AWP. Never mind.
So there's this thing that you do when you curse people when you cast them, and you've done it like 4 times now. Can you teach me your ways?
I mean, it's not even a curse at that point. It's just an eventuality. Like,
oh, God. So I thought that was going to be the light in the tunnel, but Wardell did manage to save up enough for an AWP. They're going to force buy in on this. 2 M4s in Kiko and Mizo's hands, who've been to the other 2 top raggers so far this map. Other 2 just on some upgraded pistols. So they're kind of going for an all-or-nothing mentality right now. Destiny, currently only player at top of mid who's exposed himself. PKL at underpass. Monstars playing this one quite passively.
If he could have just saved that AWP, that would have been a lot more nades.
He could have
and an
dropped
extra
over the
M4.
rifle, and yeah.
Yeah.
So Destiny gonna smoke off. Actually, was that a double smoke? Yep. So I guess they smoked off ladder room and further back on Cat. Not sure if that was a miscommunication or if that was completely intentional. But it works the same way. Either way, PKL gonna Molotov off that window, flush anyone out who may have been there. While Destiny taking up an angle, looking for any sort of a repeat. But Monstars, they're not giving anything up right now. They have barely budged from their positions.
Smoke out on the window. Rico playing inside ladder room right now as Wardell goes for that lead, but Rico will go down. Wardell trades on back. He knows there's a man pushing in from Cat. Does he know there's a second? Coming out from Archway, it's going to be Mizo there to clean up Destiny over at Apartments though, but just coming out from them. Yell, not able to connect with that shot. He will with the second onto N2G, and now it's all down to Mizo, down to 15 HP, 16 HP in a 2v1 situation. Bomb's going to go down soon. Yell, though, a little bit too cautious. Checking an odd angle, especially when he had the man over by Arch, but it doesn't matter as PKL cleans that up.
So Mizo, good attempt. I almost would have waited for the bomb plant at that point. Very interesting timing there by Monstars. So after that forced buy in the previous round, they're going to be on nothing but pistols. This might be a full eco round, and they could just buy in the 15th to attempt to play for overtime. Because if they lose this round here, LG is going to be on match point.
AWP in the hands of PKL this time. Shiz. Passively over there by Palace. Rikoko getting punished for his aggression. Gets taken on out. Now, Luminosity have so much space to work with. Even look at Yell, made his way all the way through connector, though, goes down. And that's going to be an AK in the hands of Wardell.
It's definitely the player you want to have it, but no armor to go with it. Aim punch will definitely be a factor here. He's going to take that AK over towards the B bomb side, where it doesn't seem that PKL is going to be taking this bomb, as they have picked it up from mid and have slowly started walking their way over towards the A bomb side.
They still have two members over there on the side of Monstars. It's going to be Kiko along with N2G. Now they're getting a little bit antsy, pushing up towards A ramp. Yeah, they're going to run into three members, and this is going to be horrible timing unless they can hit this tap. Doesn't, and so it's going to be Shiz that picks up the kill onto N2G. Kiko has to back out of there, but still, this is going to be a difficult proposition. We have that Molotov coming out, forcing him out of position, and Shiz is going to be able to get that easy headshot onto him, and now they're all getting cleaned up. He's going to pick up the AK, but it's not going to be enough as Showtime comes in to finish off that round. And now we're on to match point here. Luminosity Gaming, one round away from moving on to the grand finals to face off against Immortals.
Monstars, very little utility to work with, but they do have M4s across the board, and not one person bought a kit. So let's see if that comes back to haunt them as Yell, quick and early up that ramp. He's going to back off as he was flashed away, but teammate there, PKL, actually gets aggressed there. Two players up mid. Interesting play. Strange has to come out this late in the round on the CT side. They are going to open up with that frag. Destiny answers it back. Showtime, Rikoko, and trade out. Showtime picks up a second. And now three players of LG on the site make that two. Now that Wardell got one of those frags, he's spraying violently, trying desperately to land anything through that smoke. So his position is now known, and that secondary grenade comes through, gives away the position of the second player. Yell has it trained on him through the smoke, doesn't know that he needs to pull the trigger. So he's going to tuck himself away behind Dark while some of the utility comes out. Yell gets the frag anyways, and now it's down to Wardell. He's going to go down. Luminosity Gaming win this 16-9.
A much closer map here on Mirage, but ultimately Luminosity, there you have it, are the victors of this game. They're going to be facing off against Showtime there. Excuse me. No, what am I saying?
Facing off against Immortals.
Facing off against Immortals, sorry. I just saw words on the screen and started reading. But yeah, they're going to go ahead and walk on over to their competitors, taking out Monstars, Wardell, one of the first people to receive them, and fortunately, he never really found his footing.
He did wake up a little bit later on in that map and really tried to carry his team through that, but just something about today playing a little bit differently.
So yeah, they are going to go ahead and take a short little break. They're going to take a short little break while we set up for the grand finals. Immortals versus Luminosity. Luminosity, not the cleanest rounds here. Immortals did have a difficult time in their game, but we'll see who really shows up. We're going to go ahead and send it over to the analysts to break down this game, though.
Well, it looks like we have reached our expected result after everything is said and done. It's Luminosity that comes out on top. Another dominating map for them. The Monstars putting up a little bit of a better fight this time, but overall, at the end of the day, it is the Brazilians that take charge now. They're heading to the grand finals, where they'll face off against the Immortals.
Yeah, I guess in the end, we end up with the finals that we kind of expected.
Pretty much, yeah.
Starting things off, and I guess the one redeeming thing about, how what we saw from Monsters really to close it out was the fact that they ended on a high note, because that first half was not the prettiest we've seen, not the best we've seen by any means, but they started to rally back a little bit on the CT side, but at that point you've kind of given too much of a cushion to Luminosity to really throw it away.
Yeah,
Yeah, T side was a little pretty bad for
a little pretty bad
for Monstars. They're too transparent in what they they hit A, they toss smokes in A, and then hit it, instead of what a lot of teams would do in this meta is take over mid first, maybe toss a couple smokes mid, pull the people towards middle, and then hit A when they're in like connector and window and stuff. But Monstars, they just either went all middle, so Luminosity just pulled up people in middle, or just hit smoke A execute, and they had 4 people there. So whenever Monstars hit a bomb site, there's at least 3+ people by Luminosity, except for I think one round when they hit B, where they actually won.
The surprise B hit. Nobody sees
the
it coming.
surprise B hit that no one ever suspects. But I mean, yeah, the current meta in this game, or at least on Mirage, is that you want to. It's teams are pretty smart on how to defend the just straight up smoke A execute. So they have people by connector that they'll flashbang peek and then just exchange kills. But the key point is you want to pull Luminosity if they play super passive. Say you take middle and they're not taking middle, so that's when you can get a person connector, have them lurk, and have a person window room, have them lurk. Just keep one person there, and whenever you execute a bomb site, that person can flank right behind them. And the Monsters did not do any of that at all, and it showed them. And they got what 2-3 T rounds over there, and so it's you're not going to play proper CS against a professional team. You're going to get run over.
Yeah, you make their job way too easy, honestly. If you don't put pressure on multiple points, or at least try it once. It doesn't necessarily have to work even. You just have to make sure that Luminosity knows that it's a possibility. So you have to keep them honest to the fact that the guy who's rotating over from another side can't actually just blindly cross over, jump from catwalk into connector, with his knife up, because at one point someone from Monstars went through underpass into connector, so now he has to worry about that. It slows down his rotation, all that stuff builds up, even though when you initially did it, it wasn't necessarily successful. But if you never show that you have that play, as a part of your hand, then obviously, Luminosity can just go by what you're telling them, or what you're showing them, and they're going to respond in a similar fashion. And I think that's what we saw a lot of time, especially during the mid takes. There was just, as soon as you knew the one guy from Monsters were there, you could know that at least 4 others were there too.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they do come out on top, and it seems that unfortunately my own system has backfired on me.
Yeah.
As with the way the predictions went, tallying up the points, I don't know what the totals ended up being. I think you stayed at I forget the actual totals, but they ended up tying, is basically what we figured out. Once I got past a certain number of rounds, it was inevitable for them to tie because they each chose a round share that was 2 rounds apart. So as soon as I got past the highest number of rounds, they were going to tie regardless of the outcome.
It's almost like we planned it.
Yeah, and in a way,
system, baby.
it seems like that, even though I thought I was the only one that knew about this system. So I'm actually impressed that they could devise such a thing so quickly. But
see, the fault of your system is the fact that you planned to be a 3rd map. That would have been the decider, right?
Yeah.
Because we couldn't have had an equal score on the 3rd map.
just a damn shame.
Yeah, so I think it's just fair that we spin the wheel for you, really.
For you, yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to with them being tied. So I'll be I'll just double victim here now because I could already get punished, and now there's just all this other stuff on here too.
We're just
so
stacking
let's
things
get
up. So yeah, I'm just gonna spin the wheel. Do we have that in camera shot?
Go ahead, get to spin the wheel.
Spin away.
I want to see
It's a
bananas.
good spin, I'll
I
allow
want
it.
to see the lemon because we haven't
The
seen that
lemon? Yeah, I wanna
yet.
It's
see
going to be a
lemon.
little bit disappointing if we get the banana.
If it turns out to be you've been spared again, I'm going to be slightly annoyed.
Oh,
Double
dude.
banana!
Hell yeah. Do you beat 2 at once, Blue? That's what I come here to see. Not high-level CS, but Blue eat bananas.
Got to see that quite a bit actually over the weekend. So there's 4 available.
There you go. You
so-
can pick your
You
2.
Yeah,
hate
what-
to see it, but...
You hate
know.
to see it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
We're going to let you prep.
We have a little bit of a break
All right.
between now and the finals.
Okay.
I don't think there's enough time for me to consume 2 bananas before we go to the break.
All right.
Takes a while.
So
That's fair.
we'll do that while we're doing the pregame segment for the finals.
Okay.
So we are going to go
I'm
to a
done with
short
that.
break, ladies and gentlemen, as we have to give the players a little bit of time to settle down. LG needs a break, obviously. We'll give them like 20, 30 minutes to chill out. And then when we come back, we'll be having the grand final. So you're definitely going to want to stick around for it. This is the match everyone has been waiting for. It's going to be the Immortals taking on LG here for the grand finals of the Santa Ana Showdown Championship Series. Stick with us, folks.
Kyoto.